We woke up in the upper 40s this morning, and it is forecasted to get even colder. See just how low we will go as we head into Halloween weekend.
The ongoing government shutdown is cutting the life of groceries for people in need. More on how food banks are taking a drastic hit.
And multiple pavement arts are being forcibly removed, sparking debate about the inclusion of a Miracle Mile, which represents veterans who've served. First at 5 starts right now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Low temperatures are expected to plunge over the next couple days. That's why it's a good idea to wear some extra layers if you plan on having some Halloween fun outdoors. And tonight, people who don't have access to shelter could face dangerously cold temperatures. Welcome to First at 5, I'm Alex Lant.
And I'm Alexis Vivanco. The UF weather team says the temperatures could even get into the high 30s for some of us. You're taking a live look at I-75 near Paynes Prairie. Even with the sunny skies, we've struggled to reach 70 degrees today here in north central Florida. And this will likely be some of the warmest temperatures we'll see over the next few days.
We've got live team coverage of the cold front moving through and the ways the community is helping to keep people warm. UF forecaster Matthew Clark is live in the weather studio. Matthew, this strong cold spell could last through the early weekend.
Yeah, we woke up, it was cold today. You wake up tomorrow, it's going to be cold. And you wake up Saturday morning, it's also going to be cold. Low temperatures since midnight this morning. We woke up, it was 47 in Gainesville and in the Swanee River Valley. 43 for both Live Oak and Lake City. Waking up on Saturday morning, these are Saturday morning's lows. We could possibly see the upper 30s in Lake City, 43 degrees in Gainesville. That is the night after trick-or-treating. So it is going to be pretty chilly out there to start your weekend on Saturday morning. And we can thank this cold front that has well pushed its way offshore and bringing cold air, but not only just bringing cold air, but also pushing Hurricane Melissa out to sea. So definitely two great things from this cold front that we've been seeing: cooler temperatures and pushing Melissa out to sea. And it has just been a gorgeous day across north central Florida. Campus Cam, lots of blue skies out there. It is 70 degrees. It's also pretty windy out there this afternoon, and it is just going to be a beautiful evening. Now, coming up in just a few, I'll have your full in-depth Halloween weekend report and what you can expect in the tropics as Melissa moves out to sea.
The big shift in temperature has north central Florida leaders putting plans into action. Here in Gainesville, they're making sure everyone has an opportunity to bundle up. Our team coverage continues with Alabama Weninegar live in the studio with what's different for this year's cold shelter program.
With temperatures expected to dip down to the 40s overnight, Gainesville city leaders are working to make sure all neighbors, even the most vulnerable members, have a warm place to stay tonight. The Cold Night Shelter program was activated earlier today. That means both St. Francis House and Grace Marketplace are set to provide temporary overnight shelter and meals for families and individuals during what they say are severe weather conditions. Doors are open for those in need as long as temperatures are below 45 degrees. St. Francis House holds shelter spaces predominantly for families, women, and children, with room to provide for about 40 to 45 people each night. Meanwhile, Grace Marketplace is aimed towards men, women, and veterans, offering over 100 warm beds in shelter. Normally, the program starts on November 1st, but in late October, the UF weather team says we're seeing some unseasonably colder temperatures. City leaders say the program is expected to remain in place until those temperatures get back above 45. Live in the studio, Alabama Weninegar, WUFT News.
For the full list of details for Gainesville shelters and your UF weather forecast, just head to WFT.org.
You're taking a live look at the White House, where Democrats and Republicans continue their stalemate on getting the government back open. And because of it, in less than 48 hours, SNAP funding is set to lapse for the first time in history. SNAP recipients will lose their primary funding for groceries if the government shutdown continues. Food banks are preparing for a surge in demand. Here in Florida, Farm Share Food Bank is already giving food to federal employees. Farm Share Director of Development Mario Lopez warns people that if SNAP runs out, food insecurity will be an immediate consequence.
Thousands of families without access to basic food within days. It's not a distant future thing. If you can donate $10, $5, $100, whatever you can donate, please do.
Lopez says an issue for food banks is a lack of funding. Funding is used to fuel trucks, run distributions, and operate warehouses. For those seeking help, head to WUFT.org to see where you can receive food and other assistance from nonprofits.
A 17-year-old is behind bars after a shooting at a homecoming bonfire in Ocala. We cannot reveal his photo or his name because he's being tried as a juvenile. Marion County detectives arrested him Tuesday for bringing a gun to a high school party in November. No one was injured. Deputies say they identified him after OPD recognized him from a social media video. He now faces charges including aggravated assault and possession of a firearm. An Alachua County man was shot and hospitalized during a fight with multiple people at Majestic Oaks apartment on Tuesday night. People at the scene were in an intense argument when deputies arrived. The hospital confirmed to an ACSO the man was shot at the scene. The incident is still being investigated.
Marion County, make sure your car doors are locked and belongings are hidden. Early Wednesday morning, 2 people broke into over 20 cars. The burglars did not have much trouble breaking in because only 1 car was locked. Electronics, purses, wallets, and guns were stolen from the cars at an intersection near the Ocala Country Club. The Marion County sheriffs say there could be more victims to this string of break-ins. If anyone has any footage or information, call MCSO. A Bradford County deputy was arrested for fraud after stealing money from a jail bank account. After receiving reports of the theft Wednesday evening, detectives say Deputy Francis Highland admitted to stealing $550. He was immediately fired from the sheriff's office and taken to the Bradford County Jail. He faces 2 felony charges of fraud and 1 misdemeanor charge of petite theft. The Florida Department of Transportation has spent the last few months working to remove pavement artwork. And while the focus of the removal from the governor stemmed around rainbows, the symbol of the LGBTQ community, some artwork that falls under the order remain. One such example is where we find WUFT's Allison Bonnemaison. Allison, Gainesville's Memorial Mile has been safe so far from the order, and you went to find out why.
Alex, this purple curb stretches down Northwest 8th Avenue. I reached out to FDOT today to see if they would speak to me about why this artwork is still here, but they haven't gotten back to me yet. Meanwhile, veterans are speaking out about the possible removal of this memorial. A mile of purple on Northwest 8th Avenue in Gainesville marks a memorial for veterans lost during the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Scott Camel, president of North Florida's Veterans for Peace, says this is more than just a strip of paint. It's a symbol of the many lives lost.
We wanted people to see more than just numbers. When the hero 6,000 died or whatever, we wanted to see that each one was an actual person.
But Memorial Mile is in jeopardy thanks to a recent FDOT directive that requires the removal of decorative pavement art that doesn't serve as traffic control. Other similar artwork, like 3 rainbow crosswalks in Gainesville, were removed earlier this year. But veterans I spoke to say the Memorial Mile should not fall under FDOT's directive.
It ticks me off. This is to remind people of our freedoms, and our freedoms. We have our freedoms because of those who've served. It's just ridiculous. I think they're overstepping their reach.
Camille hopes the mile can remain because it's not a political symbol.
It really disturbs me because a lot of work and care has been done here, and it's to honor people, Americans who have died fighting for their country. Why would that be destroyed? Why would that be taken away? I don't really understand it.
This memorial, established in 2007, is meant to represent the Purple Hearts given to veterans killed or wounded during service. We'll keep you posted with any updates from FDOT officials. Live in Gainesville, Allison Bonnemaison, WUFT News.
Halloween is just around the corner and is starting off this weekend with some eerie excitement.
There are many events happening this weekend to join in on the fun. We'll tell you about those and some tips to stay safe when First at 5 returns.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Halloween has its treats, but it's also filled with tricks. Almost 6 hours ago, safety concerns spread across the University of Florida.
The spooky holiday caused a campus report about a suspected gunman. Turned out it wasn't what it seemed. Reports were made to UFPD about a person walking past Little Hall with a gun. Officers discovered the suspect was dressed as a sci-fi character with a toy water gun. They confirmed the individual did not cause a threat. UFPD says to be safe with Halloween this year and wise when selecting costumes and props. UF Shands Children's Hospital is getting in on the Halloween spirit with a department-wide pumpkin decorating competition. The 18 departments that take care of Shands pediatric patients were tasked with decorating the pumpkins, and they got very creative. Look at Stitch. The contest will have a community vote and a patient vote, and winners will be announced sometime next week. That's awesome.
It's not only fun for the kids and families, but it's super fun for the staff. I think each year the pumpkins get more and more elaborate. So it was really fun, like last week and on Monday, to see all the pumpkins come through and see all the effort and time spent into these.
To vote, scroll through their online pumpkin patch on the UF Health Shands Children's Hospital Facebook page. The pumpkin with the most likes will be the community winner.
And families around Gainesville are celebrating Halloween early while bringing the community together. Glenwood Gainesville, an elderly assisted living community, hosted its third annual trunk or treat event on Tuesday. Families attended the event to play games, enjoy snacks, and collect candy out of car trunks. And residents got to interact with the attendees and relive their childhood memories.
It's special because it's not just something fun for the community, but it's also fun for our residents. They get to decorate, they get to see the kids, they get to hand out treats.
The Halloween spirit helped bridge the gap between the elders and the children by showing that you're never too old to have some Halloween fun.
What could have been a trick is turning out to be a pleasant treat this Halloween. I will have how this cold front is shaping up your Halloween weekend after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
The hour hand is taking one full step back this Sunday. Lawmakers in Florida are trying to keep the clock set at the same time all year long. The time changes twice in a year. In March, we have longer evenings, and then in November, we return to standard time for brighter mornings. Florida lawmakers have pushed the Sunshine Protection Act to keep daylight saving time year-round. Time policy is set at the federal level. Permanent change will require action in Congress.
Florida could, if it wanted to, move to permanent standard time, so it would not observe daylight savings time, but the federal government doesn't give states the option to move to permanent daylight savings time.
To avoid time confusion, the proposal was reintroduced in Congress in January of 2025. It has not been set in place. Until then, we'll gain an extra hour of sleep and more morning sunlight on Sunday. And daylight saving is just one of the stories our Noticias team is working on for our Spanish-speaking audience. Find out how Alachua County is getting ready just in time. Get it, no pun intended. Also, more on how the SNAP funding pause is affecting local food banks in the area. Join them right here at noon every Sunday for more stories like this. And I gotta say, I mean, for me, it seems like it's a good deal to have a little bit more sleep. Yeah. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I always look forward to 7 hours daylight savings.
It's like you wake up at 10 and you look at the clock and it's actually 9 because you lost that hour and you have a full day on Sunday to be productive. It's definitely nice. But then when that sun sets an hour earlier, it is a rude awakening or sleepening, I guess, when the sun sets. The sunset on Saturday here in Gainesville is going to be at 6:43, and that is the last time the sun will set this late as we turn those clocks back an hour. And then the sunset in Gainesville on Sunday will be at 5:43, so before 6 o'clock. So this time next week, sunset will be in just 30 minutes, and it will get dark out there pretty early. So definitely some winter conditions when that sun starts to set at a really early hour. Not going to be fully winter though, as we are still here in Florida fall. Only 70 degrees out there currently. Plenty of blue skies out there. It is just a gorgeous day. It's a little bit breezy as well. Some gusty winds from the west at around 13 miles per hour with wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour. That dew point, it is very dry out there. You may have noticed, may need some extra dosing of chapstick if you're heading out and about over the next couple of days. And that is from all of this dry air. This is very dry air. This is probably the driest air we have seen move its way across Florida since the last late season cold front, which was back in March. It's also bringing us cold air, but not only just bringing us cold air for Halloween, it is pushing Hurricane Melissa out to sea, staying away from us. So we are definitely going to be seeing a treat here for Halloween as we head into Halloween tomorrow and Halloween weekend this upcoming weekend. We did wake up. It was in the upper 40s here in Gainesville, 47 in Gainesville in the Swanee Valley, 43 in Live Oak, and 43 in Lake City. 48 down in Ocala, and we have barely heated up into the 70s. Only a few of us have seen 70s this afternoon. 70 in Gainesville. We hit around 71 this afternoon, 69 in Ocala, and still in the lower 60s in the Swanee River Valley. So it has been a pretty chilly day out there. Lots of sun though. It has been just overall a perfect day, and it's going to be a perfect evening out there. Hour by hour shows those temperatures dipping into the lower 60s by the 8 p.m. hour, and it's just going to be a pretty chilly night. Then waking up tomorrow on your way out and about early morning, we're going to be even colder. We're going to be in the lower 40s, 44 in Gainesville, 42 Lake City, 42 Live Oak, 45 in Ocala, pretty much all 40s inland, and then some 50s along the coast. Tomorrow's highs are going to be much of the same for Halloween, reaching around 69. We could see 70 in a few spots, but it's going to be cold morning and clear, and then it's going to be sunny, dry, and perfect for tomorrow. And then trick-or-treating out there tomorrow night, definitely going to be a treat for the most part. It's going to be a little bit chilly though, so short sleeve costumes could get a little bit chilly once that sun sets at 6:43 tomorrow night. But overall, just a gorgeous Halloween. And then it's going to get even colder on Saturday morning, 43 in Gainesville on Saturday morning. We could even see the upper 30s in some spots. Possibly frost advisories may get issued tomorrow for Saturday morning, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for that. But still 39 in Lake City, 44 in Ocala, 43 Saturday morning in Gainesville. It's definitely going to be a little bit chilly out there to kickstart your day on Saturday. We're going to warm up into the lower 70s again, 71 on Saturday. Sunny, cool, and dry. The winds are going to die down, so it's not going to be nearly as windy tomorrow or Saturday as it has been today. Sunday, we are getting a little bit warmer with a high of around 76. And then the only thing really worth of note that's happening this weekend in terms of weather, other than lots of sunshine, is that clock setting back an hour, so we do get an extra hour of sleep on Saturday night into Sunday, and then sunset on Sunday is at 5:43. If you're heading out to the Florida-Georgia game this weekend, going to be gorgeous as well out in Jacksonville. Quick check-in on the tropics. Hurricane Melissa, this front, again, pushing Hurricane Melissa out to sea, so no threats here to land in north central Florida or the East Coast for the most part. 7-day forecast. Gorgeous weather across the board. We are tracking another front that's going to move its way through our area on Monday before giving us a little bit of a warm-up as we head into the middle of next week.
Coming up after the break, we have all things Gators football in their matchup against Georgia on Saturday. Also, we have WUFT's Heather McKenzie live from the O-Dome after men's basketball head coach Todd Golden spoke to the media earlier today ahead of their first game of the season. All coming up after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back to another Thursday sports segment. I'm Jada Ross. And a week from today, men's basketball will be hosting their first home game of the season in the O-Dome, where WUFT's Heather McKenzie is right now. Heather, tell us more on what we can expect for the first few games of the season.
The O-Dome is empty right now, but in a week from today, this will not be the case when the reigning college basketball champions will play in their first home game. But before that, they'll be traveling to Vegas to take on the Arizona Wildcats on Monday. Head coach Todd Golden spoke in media availability today about his game plan.
Tommy will start at the 3. I think you'll see him out there a lot. Probably we'll play Mike and Ruben together a little bit, see what that looks like. Kondo, keep him out there a lot. And then on the perimeter, those 3 guys are going to get a lion's share of the minutes, but CJ, Ingram, Lloyd, the Brown brothers, all those guys are fully capable and available to eat up some of that backcourt minutes.
The talent on this team is shining through with all of the awards these players are earning in the preseason. Today, Thomas Houck was named to the Carl Malone Award watch list. Trio Alex Condon, Boogie Fland, and Thomas Houck were named to the coach's preseason All-SEC. And lastly, Alex Condon was named to the NABC Player of the Year watch list. Although these accolades are impressive, Boogie Fland said today that these awards are a privilege, but he will not be letting it affect his game. And the Florida Gators once again will travel to Vegas to take on the Arizona Wildcats. Reporting live from the O'Connell Center, I'm Heather McKenzie, WFT Sports.
If you missed Gators football last week, don't worry. They are back at it this Saturday for the annual Florida-Georgia game in Jacksonville. Florida's interim head coach Billy Gonzalez says he's emphasized to the team how important it is for them to be disciplined and to not let the rivalry get to their heads.
The big thing is we just got to be clean. This transition phase. So when it's a transition phase, you want to make sure you can execute at a high level. And so that's what we've been preaching to the guys.
This will be Billy Gonzalez's first game coaching as Florida's interim head coach. And Florida is one of the biggest, Florida-Georgia, is one of the biggest rivalry games of all of college football. With Georgia being ranked number 5 this week in the AP poll and winning the last 4 times the teams have played, the Gators have a lot to prove this weekend. However, 8 players made it onto Florida's initial injury report released today. Wide receivers Vernell Brown III and Aiden Mizell and running back Jacoby Jackson are a few of the key players on the list. Saturday's game will kick off at Everbank Stadium at 3:30 p.m.
The 20-8 Gainesville High School girls volleyball team just punched their ticket to the 5A Final Four state semifinals. Head coach Jerica Carter-Mitchell used to play volleyball for the Hurricanes. She says she understands the importance of success for this program.
I know what it takes to get to the Final Four. I would say nowadays it is a lot harder as far as just the skill level and the levels of all the teams to get to the Final Four. So the fact that, we're able to make it this far is, really awesome.
This is the first time the Hurricanes have advanced to the state semis since 2011, and they defeated Legacy in 3 sets to do so. Also, GHS senior Addison Hotman recorded her 1,000th dig of her career. Gainesville is set to play the 27-3 Archbishop McCarthy Mavericks next Friday, November 7th at 4 p.m. The winner of the matchup will advance to the state championship. 2 quick notes before we go. Men's and women's swim and dive are competing right now and tomorrow against Georgia here in Gainesville. And Florida Soccer's Kai Chikaris earned all SEC and SEC All-Freshman honors this morning. That's it for sports. We'll take one last look at the weather after the break.
Welcome back. We have a beautiful Halloween weekend coming up ahead.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night.